Happy Monday, you handsome lot. And on the ramp today, we've got a 2014 Isuzu D-Max, which I did recover in on Saturday morning as it wouldn't start. The battery was dead flat on it. I tried jump starting it. As soon as you took the jump leads off, it cut out. But I have had a little look. I've got a brand new battery on it because the original battery had collapsed. And I think I've got a little bit of a alternator problem. As you can see, the battery is healthy. It's 12.3 volts. We put a brand new Isuzu one on it. I'll just jump on the key now. And give it a big start. The battery light is staying on. And as you can see, it's not even charging. Now the alternators on these D-Maxes, they're not that bad of a job to do. Got to remove the airbox, the intake pipe going to the turbo, and a few little brackets, and we should have good access to the alternator. Right, well, I've now gone ahead and removed the airbox, and there's a little plastic cover there, and that intake pipe that we have removed, and we've got a little bit of access now. Look how small that alternator is. It's probably no bigger than my fist. Now to remove the alternator, we're going to be removing the belts as well. One for the air conditioning and one for the alternator drive belt. Now we will be replacing these belts, and they don't look that bad to get off. When they adjust it up here, you might have to just pull this cover off. I'm going to have to use two hands for this. Should we go ahead now and get these belts off? Now there's a 14mm on the tensioner there, 12mm, and that should take the tension off that belt. And then rather than taking the viscous fan off, what we're going to be doing, if I can do it one-handed, we should be able to just pull the belt around the fan and work it out a little bit like that. And the similar sort of thing to the alternator belt. There's a 12mm, 12mm and a 14mm underneath it, and then it should just pivot off. Right, now with both belts off there, we can go ahead and disconnect the battery. Now this terminal is loose, because like I said, I did put the battery on this on Saturday just to get it into the workshop. Now we can go ahead and remove the battery live off the back of the alternator. And also just disconnect that little plug. Then we can remove the long 14mm bolt that goes through the bottom of the alternator. Everything now is removed out of the way. Now I have just had to remove this adjuster bar off the engine with the 12mm that bolts to the block. That alternator should give it a wiggle up and down, and it should pull off a little bit like that. Right, so we go ahead now and get this brand new alternator that we're going to be fitting to the vehicle. Now it is a Drive Tech one. Now if you go ahead now in a minute and pause your screen and scan the QR code that is going to come on the screen right now, you'll be able to see their full product range. That one just by there, and it is on all their boxes. They have got an absolute massive product range. Now even though it is a brand new product, whenever you ring these parts suppliers up, even though that alternator is listed for this vehicle, it could be wrong. So always, before you fit them, compare them to the old alternator, make sure they look identical. You've got the right amount of pins and terminals, and just make sure that it is perfect for this vehicle, because there's that many choices on all these parts these days. It's horrendous. There's no need for it really, but yeah, always check the parts before you fit them. With the alternator put back in place now, the battery live terminal, make sure that it is nice and clean. Now I have gone over it with a little bit of a wire brush on the end of my drill. Nothing too major, just give it a bit of a cleaner-oonie, and then we can get that bolted back up to the alternator, because you always want good connection or good contacts. Now the little adjuster bars on these, what I like to do is give them a bit of a clean. Now everybody says, oh, you've got to put lots of penetrating fluid and stuff like that. Generally, you only need a tiny little bit on it, if that, and then work it back and two, so it makes life a little bit easier when you're adjusting them belts back up. Right, well, we have run into a little bit of a problem. Now, I have ordered 2 new belts for this vehicle, but the alternator drive belt was being transferred from another branch, and it's not coming until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So what I'm going to do, for now, just to make sure that everything is working as it should be, I'm going to be putting the old one on, just to give it a bit of a try. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. Well, I put the old belt on, and to tension it up, give it half a twist. You get half a twist on the belt, that is pretty much perfect. Right, I'm just going to nip the brackets up, and then we're going to put that intake on and give it a big start rooney. I've chucked everything back on, as you can see, pretty much just loosely, and make sure everything's plugged in. We've tightened the battery terminal up. When I get on the key now, I'll make sure nothing's dangling and everything's nice and tight. And everything's plugged in as it should be. Beautiful. You get on the key now, and give it a big start rooney. See if the battery light goes out. And it has. Perfect. Traction control light, well, we'll have to little plug that in and see why that light's coming on. Now, during the Christmas period, I had quite a little bit of time on my hands, and when I normally have time on my hands, I'm sitting down and I'm watching the telly, and I'm doing a bit of an impulse buy. Now, I've bought a new tool. Do I need it? Absolutely not. Do I want it? Absolutely. I'll show you this tool. I think I've been looking at these for a long period of time. It's a top diag tool, and it is such a universal tool. We've got a smart meter, multimeter, oscilloscope. You can check relays on it. You can active components. It's brilliant, brilliant. But if we just go on to smart now, we can see straight away that battery is at 12.6 volts. We can take it with us. We've got a long lead. Walk around the vehicle. Let me hook it round me. We give the vehicle a big start up now. You can see that alternator is charging. It's brilliant. Brilliant tool. We like new tools, don't we? Go on the battery. 14.2 volts. Brilliant tool. Multimeter. Do all sorts of tests with it. It's even got a little oscilloscope on it, which I'll show you now. Now on this little oscilloscope you can set your divisions and your time and one thing and another. Now I've just gone into the airflow meter, just to give you a little bit of a demonstration on how and what it looks like. I love this sort of stuff. You put the camera around. At least you can see you've got signal. Give it a rev. Just hold it. Rev a bit more. Bit more. Tick over. How's that? I think it's just a great little grab and go tool. Obviously I've got my proper scopes to look at it more accurately, but I think that you're going to see it on the channel a lot more, I think. Right, let's get back to business. Now the brand new belt has turned up, so we'll go ahead and get this belt chucked on. Now, as a little bit of a personal preference to myself, do you know when you're putting new belts on, do you ever put the writing facing forward so you can like read it, or is it the other way around? Like I always put it so I can read it easily, if that makes sense. You get a belt, chucked around that viscous fan, a little bit of a twist-a-rooney and a pull here, there and everywhere. Get it around the crank pulley. New belts are always a pain to get on because as they folded in the box. Has anybody else noticed that? You nightmare. Right. Is that on now? Right, that's on the crank pulley. Around the crank pulley, around the water pump. I might have to just slacken that adjuster off a tiny little bit more. And there we go. That is one belt on. We can get on the adjuster now, 12mm, and get it tensioned up. That belt is now back on. I'm going to put it into a little bit of a time lapse for you while I'm putting this vehicle back together. Right, there we go. That all in belts and everything is put back together. We've given everything a little bit of a cleaner routine, and we're not worried too much about getting it clean because it is a family-owned vehicle. Now I have got the Diag running a full system health scan at the minute, and just to see what them fault codes were on the dashboard before. Now whenever you get these vehicles in and they've had alternator failure or a battery failure, you will get, in a lot of the modules, voltage faults. Now, if you have a little look, we've got some in the airbag, and it's all voltage resistance. Now, these could be underlying faults, which could have happened before the alternator failed, or they could have happened because the alternator was failing, if that makes sense. ABS, traction control. What we're going to do, give it a big clear. I'm going to switch some voltage input and just clear them again. They might clear, they might not. If they don't, it's a job for another day because no fault codes. SRS, go into that one. Clear fault code, yes. Right airbag, clear fault code, yes. But it has got a permanent fault on the airbag, but there's no airbag light coming on, I don't think. We just go back around to the vehicle now and see what's on and what isn't on. Yeah, we've got the airbag light flashing in the corner and that traction control light down the bottom there. Now that might just need the steering angle calibration. It might just take a drive down the road, or it could be because it's got an ABS fault. But they are underlying faults. But there you go. That is one alternator replacement, 2 belts and a new battery fitted on an Isuzu D-Max. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, and you've stayed till this far, please hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Let's get it in.